following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Time. Let's head up to the broadcast booth for the pregame show right now on Magnitude Sports.
All right, hi, hello, and welcome to the Gopher Classic out at the campus of the University of Northwestern, or Northwestern University, I should say, not to get the two schools confused. The count is at 1-1 to Carter Washburn, the leadoff man, and today's opening action between Ashland and West Fargo. Eric Tiongson here with Magnitude Sports, and we'd like to thank you for tuning in today from wherever you may be, and I'd like to also offer my sincerest apologies for the bit of a late start, as that one will be grounded by Washburn over towards third for the first out of the inning. Washburn grounding out to Connor Enns over at third base. But it was a bit of an adventure to get set up here. I'm actually on top of the football bleachers, which is right behind the baseball diamond, and it took a lot of careful craftsmanship to get the camera set up in at least a presentable enough way to try and get a good enough shot. Of course, no press box out here, at least at this field for today. The sun is very bright. So I'm looking and trying to get everything situated. Still in the moment as Max Bendler will be the next man up. Bendler fouling off the first pitch to make the count 0-1. After that will be Jake Butler, and we'll go through lineups when we get a chance here. That crash you heard, actually the crowd mic, which fell down from its perch, thankfully okay, but clanging against the metal bleachers. But that's where I'm set up right now, is the football bleachers for a baseball game. Go figure. Heupel, the starter on the mound, as that pitch is going to be skied, carrying out towards the outfield. That one carrying over towards the warning track, and it's going to drop for extra bases. Good start for Ashland. Max Bendler with a double. First hit of the game for either team. That brings up Jake Butler. Braxton Wentler will be the courtesy runner, as you might be able to hear over the PA system. But it was a mad scramble to get everything set up here, as one would imagine. I got caught in some rush hour traffic here in the Twin Cities, getting here about 45 minutes before first pitch instead of the intended hour. And then after that, it was go time to try and find the ideal spot to set up. Count is at 1-0 to Butler. He's got Bendler over at second after the double. Matt Heupel on the mound, as he's got 6 pitches thus far. 2 balls and 4 strikes for Heupel. He gets the start in Game 1 for the Patriots, and we'll be bringing you coverage of both the West Fargo Patriots as well as the Post 400 Stars on Magnitude Sports as they start their campaigns in the Gopher Classic. Count is now 1-1 to Butler. Mike Mason covering the Stars games tonight. They had one start at 4:30 and one scheduled to start at 7. And maybe during a commercial break, I'll try and give you a score update of the action going on across the Twin Cities. Levi Kennedy, the cleanup man in the on-deck circle. One on and one down, count 1-1. But I would also like to give a big thank you to the people working at this field, Reynolds Field, as they gave me the idea to set up here on the football bleachers, and that's where they say they do a lot of their live streams for their games. Heupel's pitch a strike to put the count at 1-2. Butler now staring a pitcher's count in the face. Heupel looking for a big second out. Of course, there'll be 2 games tomorrow for the Patriots. Those can be found on Magnitude, as well as 2 games for the Stars, and then 2 more games on Sunday. Total of 10. Well, actually, supposed to be 10, but 9 games, as the first game for West Fargo actually was canceled due to the team not showing up, from my understanding, as Heupel's pitch is going to be taken high and outside for a ball. Count now even at 2. Butler stepping out of the box and now settling back in. Even count dealing on the way. Heupel, a pitcher that likes to take his time between pitches, settling in on the mound, establishing a rhythm. And we've seen him a lot this season on Magnitude. 2-2, that one fouled off, and Butler able to stay alive. Of course, Heupel took a no-hitter into the, I believe, 6th inning. That one in a game against Post 400 coming a few weeks ago over at Starion. Before an Oliver Lucht single eventually notched the first hit of the game. Also saw Heupel twirl a gem over at the Creighton Prep Tournament. That one, the marathon game taking place against the West Side Warriors of Omaha. Here's another 2-2. That one is going to be taken for ball 3. So our first full count of the game, 3-2 to Jake Butler. The runner still over at second base. First out was a ground out over towards Connor Enns over at third. Then a double. Heupel checking the runner. Payoff pitch. Survey says taken for ball 4, and Butler will walk. And it's 2 on for Ashland. Ashland hailing out of the state of Nebraska. Of course, I believe there are 96 teams competing in the Gopher Classic, which makes it, believe it or not, the largest Legion tournament in the country. Games taking place all over the Twin Cities. Numerous different sites. And we know for sure we'll be at 2 of them. And of course, depending on how the Patriots and Stars do in pool play, if they make it to bracket play, we'll be there for that too. Now 2 on for Kennedy. Ashland looking to strike first. Kennedy showing bunt for a moment as Heupel finds the zone. Count at 0-1. 7 minutes into this ball game, getting started at 7:03. Scheduled first pitch 7 o'clock, and I'm a little thankful this time for the few minutes late start, as I was only able to miss about a pitch or two. That pitch, a nice one from Heupel for strike 2. Now a quick 0-2 count to Kennedy. Patriots looking for a big second out. Ashland looking to score the opening run. Heupel from the stretch. Breaking ball taken inside. Hard to believe that it is already July 8th. So we are just cruising along, and in a few weeks' time it'll be state tournament time for some of the teams that we're following. This Gopher Classic tournament, a nice little ramp up towards the state tournament. Here's a 1-2, that one taken for ball 2. Kennedy looking at an even count. There's a softball field that's also adjacent to this, as well as some tennis courts, and of course the football field / soccer pitch located right behind me. Nice little area. 2-2, and that one just missing the zone for ball 3. Now a full count, back-to-back full counts, this one to Levi Kennedy. Previous full count, Heupel walked Butler. We'll see what this one has in store. And should Kennedy walk, that would load the bases for Cade Bridges. Three-two on the way. That one swung through for strike 3. It's a Buffalo Wild Wings strikeout for your second out of the inning.
Out to bat next, second baseman number 39, Cade Bridges.
Now 2 down for Cade Bridges. Bridges has runners on second and first with 2 away. Heupel with 18 pitches thus far. West Fargo looking to get out of the inning unscathed. Ashland looking to avoid stranding 2. Heupel's pitch, that one tapped foul. Bridges will settle back into the box. 0-1 on the way. One breaking ball into the zone for strike 2. Quick 0-2 count to Cade Bridges. A double and a walk representing the base runners in this first inning. Heupel forcing a strikeout and a ground out. Here's the 0-2. That one is going to be hit on the ground over towards Hammond at second, who fires over to first into the glove of Clemenson for out number 3. So that's going to do it here for the top half of the first. As 2 are left on, no coming across on 1 hit. Your score 0-0. It's Ashland and West Fargo. And we're back with the bottom of the first inning right after this here on Magnitude Sports.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or a night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more.
All right, we're back in action, about to start the bottom half of the first inning. We'll take a look at the lineup here for West Fargo as now have a chance here in between innings. Brennan Hammond, Nolan Dodds, Trey Stocker, Griffin Stahl, Connor Enns, Seth Wiggestrand, Casey Clemenson, Peyton Jancy, and Cooper Borkart. Those are the 9 hitting for the Patriots. They'll face off against Dawson Thies, who's on the mound. Dawson Thies on the mound, Max Bendler behind the plate, Emmerich Hagwood over at first, Cade Bridges at second, Carter Washburn at short, Cody Pluto over at third, and then the outfield from right to left, Jake Butler, Levi Kennedy, and Aiden Washburn. So that's how your two teams shape up, both in the lineup and across the diamond, as the first pitch comes into the leadoff man, Hammond, for strike 1 from Thies. 0-1, and that one a fastball taken to even the count. And you can see a contrast in styles here. Heupel more of a slow-working pitcher, and Dawson Thies working very quickly. 1-1 on the way already, and it's taken for ball 2. Two and 1 the count to the leadoff man. Hammond, Dodds, and Stocker, the 3 scheduled to hit. As that one is chopped on the ground over towards Washburn at short, who fires over to first. And it's in time for out number 1. 6-3 ground out for the first out of the inning.
Up to bat next, center fielder number 2, Nolan Dodds.
Nolan Dodds up next. Dodds has the bases empty with 1 away. It's a hot and humid evening here in the Twin Cities with a slight breeze, but nothing too bad. Sun shining very brightly down on this turf field. It looks to be another beautiful evening for some baseball as the pitch comes in for ball 1 to Dodds. Dodds swinging to even the count. After Dodds, it'll be Trey Stocker. One on the way. That one looks to be a half swing of sorts. And the official ruling is that Dodds was able to lay off. The appeal down the line at the umpire, saying that he didn't go, and it's a 2-1 count. Pitch on the way, and Dodds takes for ball 3. Now 3-1. Pitch on the way, and taken, ball 4. Dodds walks. And it brings up Trey Stocker.
Next, left fielder number 3, Trey Stocker.
Stocker hitting in the number 3 hole today. Griffin Stahl, the designated hitter, and the cleanup man on deck. First pitch is outside to Stocker for a ball. Can add this to my list of ballparks that I've been able to see this summer, as it's an ever-growing list. That one chopped down the line and foul by Stocker to even the counts. Of course, saw 3 in Omaha, now 1 here in the Twin Cities. Will soon to be 2 tomorrow, putting us at 5. Starion Bank Field makes it 6. Young Field makes it 7. The field out in Brookings for 8. Jamestown for 9. Mandan for 10. Bismarck for 11. There might be a few more that I'm missing as the runner goes. That one hit the other way and over the head of the first baseman, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Dodds going on over to third. and he's in as it's going to be a single for Trey Stalker. That puts runners on the corners. Griffin Stahl up next.
Up to bat next, designated hitter number 15, Griffin Stahl.
And a golden opportunity here for the Patriots to try and get the first run of the ball game. Of course, two are stranded by Ashland back in the top of the first. Now Ashland will try and repeat that feat, or I guess get out of a jam of their own here in the bottom of the first. Score 0-0 early on. Stahl taking his time and now settling into the box. As the pitcher Thies will check on the runner Stalker over at first, firing back to the bag. That pitch taken for a strike. Count at 0-1. Second pitch on the way. That one taken low for a ball. Count even. Already a very big at bat in this game here in the bottom of the first. Of course, should the pitcher Thies get Stahl out here, would open up a world of possibilities as that one is put in play over towards the bag at first, trying to fire over and get two. The tag is down and not in time. So they get Stahl out with the force over at first. They try and get Stalker at second. Dodds holds up over at third. So it's two down now for Connor Enns as Stahl grounds out. And overall, not a bad result at all for Ashland as they keep the runner over at third, and now with two down, just one out gets him out of the inning. Heads up infielding. Pitch on the way. That one taken inside for a ball to Enns. Enns, who we see a lot as a corner infielder, sometimes over at first, and today over at third. That one taken for a strike. 1-1 to the number 5 hitter. Third pitch of the at-bat swung through for a strike, and a nice knockdown there by Bendler. Able to keep in front of him and keep Dodds at bay over at third. Potential run-saving play there for the catcher. Now the count's at 1-2. One-two pitch high and outside. Count back to even. 2-2 on the way from the windup, and that one is going to be swung through for strike three. They'll fire over to first on the drop third strike, and that's going to do it here for the first inning. A Buffalo Wild Wings strikeout, and after one, the Patriots finding themselves in a similar fate to Ashland. They leave two on base, and going to do it for the first. 0-0 your score as we head towards the second. We'll be back with more baseball. It's Ashland and West Fargo on Magnitude Sports, and we're back in a moment. All right, we're going to bring it back here in the top of the second as it's going to be the starting pitcher Dawson Thies leading things off. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here in the second for Ashland. Facing off against Matt Hype, who had 21 pitches in the first inning of work. 13 strikes and 8 balls for him. 22 minutes into this ball game. 7:25 your time out in the Twin Cities. As Heupel's pitch, first one is going to be grounded over towards third, ends firing over to first, and a nice stretch by Clemenson. 1 pitch, 1 out. Peak efficiency for Matt Heupel.
Up to bat next, third baseman number 8, Cody Pluta.
Cody Pluta up next. Pluta over at third today for Ashland. Base is empty with 1 away for him in what has been a scoreless game thus far here in the top of the second. Heupel's first pitch on the way. That one a fastball taken for ball 1. That one low and inside. Northwestern, the Northwestern Eagles out in the Twin Cities with a similar color scheme to the Northwestern that we might know, the Wildcats, located in Chicago. I'll say it's a pretty nice campus here, I'll admit. Someone that has lived in the Midwest practically my whole life. I'd actually never heard of this school before, but pretty nice to see another campus, see another park. Looks like 329 down the right field line as that one is going to be popped up and sent out towards center field. Dodds will get underneath it, and he gets underneath it for out number 2.
Up to bat next, first baseman number 5,
Emmerich Hagwood up next. Hagwood has the bases empty with 2 down. Heupel settling in here in inning number 2, retiring the first 2 hitters. It looks to be 329 down the right field line and only 290 down the left field line. Very rarely do you see an outfield fence that comes short of the 300-foot mark. So those righty pole hitters might be in for a treat tonight. First pitch to Hagwood is swung through for a strike. I can't quite see how deep it might be dead center. That sun shining right down on my eyes. That pitch is going to be drilled out towards the gap in right center, and that one's going to drop for a hit. Hagwood aboard with a 2-out single.
Up to bat next, left fielder 42, Aiden Washburn.
That brings up Aiden Washburn, the number 9 hitter. Bottom of the order here, due up. At the second hit of the game for Ashland. And after Aiden Washburn, it'll be back to the top of the order in Carter Washburn. Heupel checking on Hagwood. First pitch on the ground. That one carrying out over towards third. Nice scoop by Enns over to first. And Clemenson got it in time for out number 3. So that's going to do it here for the top half of the second as 1 is left on 1 hit. No runs coming across, and it's remained deadlocked here, 0-0 between Ashland and West Fargo when we're back with the bottom of the second right after this here on Magnitude Sports.
Buffalo Wild Wings win-win value lineup gives you and your friends more for less. With buy one, get one half off traditional wings every Tuesday. Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday. And $3 tall every day. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
And we're back here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. It's the Gopher Classic, day one of the Gopher Classic. Day one of our coverage of both the West Fargo Patriots and the Post 400 Stars. Eric Tiongson here with Magnitude Sports. 0-0 your score as we approach the bottom of the second inning. And it's going to be Seth Wiggestrand leading things off. Wiggestrand, Clemenson, and Jancy, the three scheduled hit against Dawson Thies. One hit in this game thus far for West Fargo. That one coming off the bat of Trey Stalker, a single. The first pitch from Thies is taken for strike one. Wiggestrand over at shortstop today, like we usually see him for West Fargo. A one pitch, a fastball taken for ball one. It's been nice to get back out to the diamond as well. Of course, was out in Kindred yesterday. That my quote-unquote return to baseball after about a week off. That one is going to be going out towards right field and dropping for a hit. Wiggestrand aboard with a single. Second hit of the game for the Patriots. That brings up Casey Clemenson.
Number 21, Casey Clemenson.
Of course, bouncing around between doing baseball for West Fargo, Post 400, as well as Dakota Fusion. And we will have the final Fusion game on Magnitude Sports next week. That one can be found Friday at 7 o'clock as bunt will be shown by Clemenson. And he pulled back in time to take for ball one. On the way. Bunt being shown again. That one tapped down the line and carrying foul. Wiggestrand is going to have to trot back. Foul ball puts the count at 1-1. So we'll see if that is what the plan is for West Fargo, trying to bunt Wiggestrand over. Of course, they have 3 outs to play with here, so the sacrifice bunt most certainly in play. Bunt being shown again, and that one also rolling foul. Counts at 1-2, and now maybe the bunt out of play with a 2-strike count. Clemenson takes a look down the third base line, awaiting instruction. And a big 1-2 pitch on the way. 1-2, and that one is going to be hit foul. Landing out over on the tennis courts, bouncing around on the clay. Now that's what I call a grand slam. One of the West Fargo supporters running over and fetching that foul ball. Another 1-2, that one carrying out towards right field and dropping for a hit. Over to second goes Wiggestrand. Clemenson aboard with a single. Back-to-back hits for West Fargo, puts on 2. Peyton Jancy, the catcher, up next.
12, Peyton Jans.
So now 3 hits on the game for West Fargo, all 3 of them singles, and 2 of them coming on these last 2 at-bats, the first 2 at-bats of the bottom of the second. First pitch to Jancy, who shows bunt, and that one getting by, and runners are going to advance. Wiggestrand over to third, Clemenson over to second. One and 0 to Jancy, and now it also means that the only force out is over at first base. Pitch on the way, ball 2. Jancy out ahead of the count. After Jancy, it'll be the bottom of the order and Cooper Borkart. And back to the top and Brennan Hammond. 2-0 delivery. That one missing low for ball 3. Should Jancy walk, that would load the bases for Borkhardt. See what Thies does here on a 3-0 count. Pitch on the way and into the zone for a strike. Trying to battle his way back into the count. Three-one. Swung through for strike 2. And just like that, the count filled up at 3-2. Good battle between Thies and Jancy. Payoff pitch. Survey says high for ball 4, and Jancy walks. Bases loaded now for Cooper Borkhardt.
Up to bat next, right fielder number 8, Cooper Borkhardt.
Seth Wiggestrand over at third, Casey Clemenson over at second, and Peyton Jancy over at first. Those are your faces on the bases for the Patriots, and it looks like we're going to have our first meeting on the mound as well as the infield comes in, as well as one of the coaches. And the West Fargo base runners are going to go have a chat as well. So meeting on the mound here, Dawson Thies on 34 pitches on the game, 16 balls and 18 strikes for him. And the situation that he's facing is the bases loaded for the number 9 hitter, Cooper Borkhardt. 0-0 game here in the bottom of the second inning. I will try and get a quick score update for the Post 400 Stars as they take on Hopkins. That game can also be found on Magnitude Sports right now. But a big spot here for West Fargo in this 0-0 tie. And a big at-bat for Borkhardt. For Ashland, to imagine they're going to try and see if they can get the first out. Hopkins currently leading Post 400 2-0 in the top of the third. Oh, 1 on the way. That one a fastball taken to even the count. Especially for Ashland here, for Dawson Thies. You have to imagine the strikeout would be of high priority. Try and keep that ball from being put in play with the bases loaded and 0 outs. Count is at 2-1 to Borkhardt. Thies from the windup. Missing for ball 3. Should Borkhardt walk, that would score Wiggestrand, who started off the inning with a single. 2 singles and a walk representing the base runners here in the second inning. 3-1 on the ground up the middle. That could be 2 as they fire to get the runner at second. Over to first, the throw on the way and not in time. Wiggestrand scores as Borkhardt will be safe over at first. And it's the first run of the game, and it belongs to the Patriots. So chalk that up as a fielder's choice and an RBI. Back to the top of the order, and Brennan Hammond. Hammond 0 for 1, grounding out his first time up. He's got Clemenson over at third and Borkhardt over at first, in what is now a 1-0 ball game. Now it looks like umpires are going to discuss something. Something being discussed with the Ashland coach. But from the looks of it, looks to be 1 out and 1 run on the board. Things still being discussed here. It is worth noting they have not put the run up on the scoreboard out on the diamond yet. Located out in the right center gap. Now that discussion looks to have reached its conclusion.
Up to bat next.
And Hammond will step into the box. Now the run is put up. 1-0 for the Patriots as Hammond shows bunt, and he pops it backwards for strike one. So 0-1 the count to the leadoff man. 2 on and 1 down for him. That last pitch, number 40 for Dawson Thies. Runner goes as that one is swung on and popped up foul and over the dugout. Bouncing on the concrete and over in towards a few trees planted in between the baseball field and the football field. Hammond now looking at an 0-2 count. Now checking the runner. Firing back to Hagwood over at first, who checks on Borkart. Oh, 0-2 pitch. That one swung on line, shot over the head and dropping for a hit. That's going to score one more as Clemenson comes home, and it's 2-0. RBI single for Brennan Hammond.
Up to bat next, center fielder, number 2, Nolan Dodds.
Nolan Dodds settling in next. Dodds walking his first time up. First pitch, Dodds showing bunts and hitting it the other way behind the plate for a foul ball. Count at 0-1. Runners go as the pitch comes in. It's taken for a strike. Throw on over to second and sliding in safely is going to be Hammond. Borkart to third, Hammond to second with the double steal. Throw just not quite in time for Max Bendler. Looked to be on a line, but the runner's just too fast for that one. Here's the 0-2, popped up towards the outfield, carrying out towards right center, and it's going to be caught by Butler out and right, who throws on home as Borkart will tag, and Borkart will score run number 3. Sacrifice fly for Nolan Dodds makes it a 3-0 ball game.
Up to bat next, left fielder, number 3, Trey Stocker.
That brings up Trey Stocker. Stocker 1 for 1 with a single, notching the first hit of the ball game for the Patriots. One coming with 2 outs back in the first. He's got Hammond over at second. He's looking at an 0-1 count. He's checking the runner now. Back out onto the mound. His pitch taken for a ball. Taking out for third is going to be Hammond, and he's in standing up. That one getting by over towards the backstop. Count even to Stocker. That one hit hard through the hole, base hit, and that scores Hammond. Second hit of the game for Trey Stocker. It brings home Brennan Hammond, and it's 4-0. Strong start for the Patriots. Griffin Stahl, the DH, up next. So 4 coming across thus far in the bottom of the second. Stahl 0 for 1, grounding out over towards Emmerich Hagwood at first, his first time up. Stocker taking off on the pitch and in standing up with a stolen base. Count at 1-0 to Stahl. Stahl swinging on the ground. That one past Hagwood. Down the line and fair. Being waved home as Stalker. Relay throw is not going to come in time as Stalker scores, and it's 5-0. And the hits continue for West Fargo. Connor Enns up next. Base running and hitting have been paramount here in the second for West Fargo. Connor Enns 0 for 1, striking out his first time up. And the first pitch hit him. Connor Enns will take his base. Runners on first and second.
Up to bat next, shortstop, number 9, Seth Wiggestrand.
That brings up Seth Wiggestrand. So the Patriots have now batted around here in the second inning as Wiggestrand started things off in the second with a single. He's 1 for 1 on the game. Dawson Thies now on 50 pitches. Next one will be number 51 as he works from the stretch. And now time is going to be called. 21 balls and 29 strikes making up those 50. Pitch on the way to Wiggestrand, and he takes one in the zone for strike 1. One from Thies. That one a shot carrying out towards the outfield, out into foul territory and dropping just foul. Wiggestrand poking that one out towards right, but dropping on the right side of the chalk, and it puts the count at 0-2. Runners will retake their spots on the base paths. Thies looking to end the second here for Ashland. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-2 to Wiggestrand. Thies working again from the stretch. That one is going to be hit the other way and well out of play as that one rolls towards the other tennis courts. And man, that ball really rolls on that clay. All the way to the fence. And another long run for whoever has to go shag those balls. Hopefully, a freeze pop will come in return as that pitch is just missing the zone. And it evens the count. 2-2 to Wiggestrand. Twos across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And the pitch hit the other way and foul. That one nearly taking out a few spectators pouring in. Wiggestrand able to stay alive. Here's another 2-2. That one on the ground, over towards second. Nice play into the hole by Bridges. Over to first, and the throw gets away. And coming home is Stahl. Stahl slides home in for the 6th run of the game. Ends over to third. And over to second goes Wiggestrand. So that scores one more to make it a 6-0 ball game.
Up to bat next, first baseman, number 21, Casey Clemenson.
That brings up Casey Clemenson. Clemenson 1 for 1 with a single. Got 2 in scoring position. One swung on for a strike to even the count. One, that one carrying out over towards short, throw on the way over to first, and it's picked in time for out number 3. Washburn over to Hagwood, and that's going to do it here for the second inning as 2 are left on and 6 coming across. Your score 6-0 here. West Fargo leading Ashland, and we'll be back with the third inning right after this here on Magnitude Sports.
Why do I choose to work here? It's the people. It's the feeling that you get when you've been gone for a weekend and everybody's genuinely happy to see you and you're so happy to see them too.
They are wonderful. The staff is wonderful. They are so friendly. They're so happy all the time.
It's a family. It's just that overall culture that we have. It's a great culture and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
Signarama of Fargo is the trusted, preferred signage vendor of NDSU athletics. The global leader in the sign and graphic industry, Signarama is the way to grow your business. Competitive prices, free consultations and estimates, signage solutions that fit your budget. Signarama is locally owned and committed to community support. Trusted by the Bison, be a championship business with Signarama. Call or go online at sarvalley.com.
All right, about to start the third inning of play here. 6-0 your score as it's the top of the order due up for Ashland. Carter Washburn, Max Bendler, and Jake Butler, the 3 scheduled to hit. As Ashland will look to mount a rally of sorts. The Patriots jumping out for 6, exploding in the previous inning. The first pitch from Heupel in for a strike. Washburn trying to bunt it for a hit perhaps as he got off to a running start, but just not quite able to square that one up. For Heupel, he had 28 pitches through the first 2 innings of work, 10 balls and 18 strikes, now up to 29. As the 0-1 is going to be taken in the zone for strike 2. Second time through the order here for Ashland. Now with a few, or I should say 1 at-bat each against Heupel. 50 minutes into this ball game, 7:53 your local time. Pitch is going to be taken for ball 1. Now here's the 1-2 from Heupel. That one, a breaking ball just missing the zone, and Washburn able to lay off. Tempting morsel on a 2-strike count, but he stays patient and watches the count get evened up. Heupel again. Ooh, and that one hit him. And Washburn will take his base over at first after getting hit by a pitch.
Up to bat next, the catcher, number 18, Max Bendler.
Max Bendler settling in. Bendler 1 for 1 with a double in this ball game. That being one of 2 hits thus far for Ashland. Heupel deals, Bendler takes. Pitch high, ball 1. 1-0 is swung through for a strike to even the count. The count now even to Bendler with a runner on first and 0 outs. One pitch taken outside for ball 2. Quick pop up there by Jancy, checking the runner Washburn over at first, but electing not to throw the ball as Washburn holds up at the bag. Now here's the 2-1. That one is going to be lifted high and foul, now carrying out towards the football fields, right over by where I am as I watch it roll over towards the 15-yard line and settling practically right on the 15-yard line. 2-2 after the foul ball. Heupel fires again. That one sent the other way. Foul crashing down with a thud. Bendler able to stay alive. Two on the way. Runner goes as that one is popped up very high out towards foul territory near the dugout. Running over and just dropping in front of Casey Clemenson. Foul ball keeps the at-bat where it is. Clemenson's hat coming off there as he chased after the ball. Nearly caught for the first out in foul territory. We'll see if Bendler is able to take advantage. Good at-bat between these two. Heupel's pitch on the way, popped up, carrying foul. Clemenson chasing again, and that one dropping just before the wall. Fourth straight foul ball by Max Bendler. 7 pitches in the at-bat. Next one will be number 8. Heupel up to 40 on the game. Here's another 2-2. Breaking ball, and that one dropped in for strike 3. Heupel got him looking. Buffalo Wild Wings strikeout for your first out of the inning. That'll bring up Jake Butler. Butler walking his first trip to the plate. Washburn, the runner, over at first after the single. Big chop from Butler for strike 1. Actually, not the single. He was hit by pitch. Now time will be called. Washburn, the runner, was dancing around a tiny bit between first and second. Caught the attention of Heupel. It was Butler, though, who elected to step out of the box. Take a few seconds for himself. Oh, 1. That one missing the corner, taken for a ball. Count even to Butler. Now Heupel will step off. One pitch. That one smoked on the ground over towards Wiggestrand at short. Could be 2 as they get the lead runner Washburn, but his slide able to break up the play over at first.
Now up to bat, Center fielder.
So that'll be the second out of the inning, as Butler will be safe on a fielder's choice. And it brings up Levi Kennedy. Kennedy 0 for 1, striking out in his first trip to the batter's box. He's got Butler over at first with 2 outs. First pitch tapped foul. That one over near the Ashland dugout. Easy run for that one, as we've seen a few people get their steps in on their Fitbits or whatever they might be using to track their activity. That one, maybe just a few paces to go grab. Here's the 0-1 to Kennedy as he hits that one foul. That one hitting against the wall. And it's an 0-2 count. Normally, if you're a hitter, you hear that sound. That's a good sound as you have hit the outfield wall. Usually good for extra bases, but able to hear that sound a little bit closer to us in this instance. Kennedy will look to protect the plate with a 2-strike count. Heupel's 0-2, a fastball taken outside. Kennedy not chasing, and he lives to see another pitch. One-two. Runner goes as it's taken, and it's taken for strike 3. Heupel got him looking to end the inning. Another Buffalo Wild Wings strikeout for Matt Heupel. As we're through 2.5 and your score 6-0. 1 left on in this inning for Ashland, and we'll turn it over to the bottom of the third. We'll be back with more baseball on Magnitude Sports. It's day 1 of the Gopher Classic. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
The Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota is the place for you and your friends to come and enjoy cold drinks, great food, and sports all under a friendly and fun atmosphere. Whether it's the Vikings, Twins, Wild, NDSU Bison, or one of your favorite teams, watch all the games at the Knickerbocker. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Sunday, 12 noon to 2 a.m. You can find the Knickerbocker at 412 Main Avenue in Hickson, just a 10-minute drive south of Fargo. Take University Drive, head south until you arrive.
You may already know that at Clothes Mentor, you can shop great designer brands without the full designer price, and that you can bring your gently used items into Clothes Mentor and sell them for cash on the spot. Here's something else you should know. Buying and selling at Clothes Mentor aids in water preservation, reduces chemical pollution, decreases landfill waste, boosts your local community. That's right, it's resale, and it's better than retail. Be green and kind to the environment by selling your clothing and buying sustainable fashion for yourself.
All right, welcome back. It's Ashland and West Fargo here on Magnitude Sports. About to start the bottom of the third inning, and due up, it's going to be Peyton Jancy, Cooper Borkhardt, and Brennan Hammond. Those are the 3 scheduled to hit the 8, 9, and 1 batters. Jancy walking in his first trip to the plate. Count is now at 3-1 to Jancy. For Dawson Thies, he has 62 pitches on the game, 26 balls and 36 strikes. 3-1, that one smoked on the ground over towards Shirt. Washburn going into the hole, and that one getting by as Jancy is going to dig over for second. Sliding in headfirst, throw on the way. It's going to be a close call. And now, it's like time is going to be called by the umpire. It looks like no official ruling yet. But I believe he is safe. They did not make the out call, and Jancy having a word, so Jancy will be safe over at second on the throw. Runner in scoring position for Cooper Borkhardt. Borkhardt 0 for 1, reaching on a fielder's choice in his first trip to the box. As he pops it up very, very high, dropping for a foul ball. Oh, and 1 to the bottom of the order. Second pitch on the way, and that one missing for a ball. Count even to Borkhardt. A little over an hour into this game now. Hour and 3 minutes gone. As the sun starts to slowly set over the field. You can see those golden rays, especially on the camera. And when I get a chance, I'll maybe try and adjust it a little bit more, as I know that has been something to contend with here as we're facing the sun from where we're set up. Count is at 1 and 2. East looking for the first out of the inning. Checking the runner from the stretch. Pitch taken for ball 2. Now here's the 2-2. That one a comebacker up the middle. Over towards Bridges at second, who fires over to first, and that one escapes the glove. As Borkhardt will be safe over at first. Jancy safe over at third. And potentially another big inning brewing here for West Fargo. Brings up Brennan Hammond. Hammond representing the top of the order. He's 1 for 2, grounding out, and then a single his last time up. First pitch, Hammond briefly showing bunts, but quickly pulling back as the fastball finds the inside part of the zone for strike 1. He's checking the runner Borkhardt over at first. Quick turn and fire. Borkhardt able to get back into safety. 0-1, runner goes as it's going to be taken low for a ball, and sliding in head first is Borkhardt. And he joins Jancy in scoring position. 1-1 to Brennan Hammond. Now 70 pitches for Dawson Thies. 1-1 for 71 as it's taken for ball 2. 30 balls and 41 strikes for him. And now, before the 2-1 comes in, Thies will check the runner, and that's why I'm not a base runner out there, as he fooled me and would have been able to pick me off. And now the 2-1, as that one is skied out down the left field line, carrying out towards the wall, and it's over the wall but foul. That one jumping off the bat of Hammond. But as we talked about in the Kindred games yesterday, just a hard hit strike. 2-2 now. Even count dealing. That one flared foul. Hammond able to get a piece of it and stay alive. Back-to-back foul balls. Of course, me and Nick Eggman were on the call for the Kindred doubleheader against the Bombers. That one a sweep for Kindred. Another 2-2, another foul ball. 3 straight for Hammond. Foul ball has been a very common sight in this ball game. I think the people working here in the freeze pop industry is probably thankful that there's no freeze pop giveaway. Not enough syrup in the world for all these foul balls. Another 2-2 as Hammond watches it outside to fill up the count. With the heat that we've had here, I could really go for a freeze pop. Payoff pitch inside for ball 4, and Hammond walks. Bases loaded now for Nolan Dodds.
Number 2, Nolan Dodds.
Dodds has been in the box twice, but has yet to register an at-bat. He's 0 for 0 walking and then a sacrifice fly. Peyton Jancy over at third, Cooper Borkhardt at second, Brennan Hammond over at first. Those are the faces on the bases for West Fargo, and it looks like Ashland is going to have a quick meeting on the mound here. And we'll see exactly how quick it is as the infield comes in to join as well. For Dawson Thies, he's at 76 pitches on the game, 32 balls and 44 strikes, and looks to be just a conversation. Once again, bases loaded here with 0 outs for West Fargo as they lead by 6 in the the bottom of the third, and they're looking to add to their lead. And it's the heart of the order coming up. Dodds, Stalker, and Stahl, the 2, 3, and 4 scheduled to hit. See if we can get another score update as well from the post-Harvard Hopkins game. Last time I checked, the score was 2-0 in favor of Hopkins. And it looks to still be the case here. 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Hopkins currently hitting. They've got 2 down with a runner on over at first. And of course, that game can be found on Magnitude Sports as well. So we'll have plenty of baseball going on our station over the next few days. It is summer after all, and it's America's pastime fresh off the 4th of July weekend as we enter the dog days of summer. First pitch of the at-bat, Dodds will take for a ball. Mentioned earlier, Thies's quick pace with pitching, slowing down just a tad here as the game has worn on. He finds the zone to even the count at 1. Here's the 1-1. That one inside and taken for a ball as Dodds backs off the plate a little bit, sliding back to avoid the pitch. 2-1 the count. He's firing again. That one a line shot dropping for a hit. That's going to score some runs as Jancy comes home, and being waved home is Borkhardt. Sliding it over to third is Hammond, who slides in safe. It's a 2-run base hit, a 2-run double for Nolan Dodds. Now 1 for 1 on the game.
Now to bat, left fielder number 3, Trey Stalker.
Trey Stalker scheduled to hit next. Stalker has 2 in scoring position with 0 outs. 2 coming across to make it 8-0, and Stalker is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And now another meeting coming out on the mound, and we'll see if that's it for Dawson Thies, who now just hit 80 pitches on the game, and it looks like he's got the ball in his hand, and he's going to pass it off. So that'll do it for Dawson Thies on the mound as he completes 2 innings of work. 8-0 your score here for West Fargo, scoring 6 in the bottom of the 2nd, and then 2 thus far in the bottom of the 3rd. And it looks like from up here that it's going to be Cody Pluta taking the mound. And Pluta will come over from his spot from third base. So Pluta comes onto the mound. He'll warm up, and we'll take a quick break and be right back. Pluta will face off against Stalker after this on Magnitude.
Life is busy, and we all get distracted from time to time. But at Starion, they work hard to keep what's important to me in focus. They are continually upgrading their technology, so I can spend more time playing and less time banking. And although I can do almost all of my banking away from the branch, visiting my banker in person puts a smile on my face and reminds me they're always there for me, ready to help.
You didn't like the call? Please remember the officials on the court and the field have the best view of the action as it happens. More officials are needed. People like you. Stay connected to the game you love. Contact the NDHSAA, MSHSL, or your local high school to find out how to become an official. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
All right, we're going to bring it back here in the bottom of the third inning as Pluta finishes up his warm-ups. It looks like it's going to be a straight swap as Thies will go on over to third base. So those are your changes around the diamond. Pluta to the mound, Thies over to the hot corner as he faces off against the red-hot Trey Stalker. Stalker with 2 hits, both of them singles. He's got Dodds at second and Hammond over at third. 0 outs for him as well. Scoreless first inning for both these teams, and then West Fargo, their bats really coming to life here in the second and third. We'll see what this at-bat has in store, and we'll see if the new pitcher on the mound makes a difference for Ashland. Looking for a spark. Pluta's first pitch is taken for ball 1. From the windup, the 1-0. That one catching the corner of the zone for a strike. Pluta painting the corner, puts the count at 1-1. Even count dealing. That one taken for ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That one is shot, carrying out towards the gap. That one rolling all the way towards the warning track and dropping 4 extra bases. Stalker with his 3rd hit of the game. That's going to score Hammond and Dodds. And Stalker's thinking 3, and he's got 3. Stand-up triple for Trey Stalker. 2 more come home, and it's 10-0. My goodness. Double-digit lead here in the bottom of the third for the Patriots. Brings up Griffin Stahl. Stahl 1 for 2, grounding out and then singling his last time up. That last hit, number 8 for West Fargo. Stahl takes the pitch for a ball. .0 from Pluta. And Stahl watches that one go by as that one bounces off the backstop and Stalker holds up over at third. 2-0 the count. Pluta winds up. Pitch on the way and taken for ball 3 as Bendler knocks it down. 3-0 to Griffin Stahl, the DH, with Connor Enns, the 3rd baseman, in the on-deck circle. Pitch number 8 on the way for Pluta. And he finds the zone for a strike. Stahl taking the pitch on a 3-0 count, and we'll see if Pluta can battle back into the count. 3-1. That one sent the other way out towards left center and dropping into the gap. That'll score Stalker as Stahl gets his 2nd hit of the game. 2 for 3 now with 2 singles, and it's 11-0.
Now to bat. 3rd baseman with 32, Connor Entz.
Connor Entz up next. Entz 0 for 1, striking out and then hit by a pitch his last time up. Pluta will work from the stretch. As his pitch is taken for a ball, and taking off for second will be Stahl, who jogs into second. 1-0 to Enns. Second pitch to the at-bat. That one high and tight for ball 2. Here's the 2-0. That one taken for ball 3. So a quick 3-0 count to Connor Enns. Previous hitter also facing a 3-0 count. Pluta kicks and fires. That one is smoked down the line over towards Thies at third. Over to first, 4 out number 1. 5-3 ground out for the first out of the inning. Stahl will hold up over at second. And it brings up Seth Wiggestrand.
Shortstop, number 9, Seth Wiggestrand.
Wiggestrand is 1 for 2, singling and then reaching on an error. Stahl over at second with 1 down. First pitch. Wiggestrand takes ball 1. Still 2 outs to play with here for West Fargo. They have added 5 runs to their 6-0 lead in the third. 1-0 hit the other way and foul. Count even at 1. Pluta's 1-1. Fastball taken for ball 2. Two-one pitch. That one hit very hard and ooh, look out. Some fans gathered over by the bullpen. The fence saving their skin there. A violent foul ball to even up the count. Really getting your money's worth over there. Of course, it's always been my dream to catch a foul ball, but I don't think I want to risk life and limb to do it. Gotten close a couple of times. As the 2-2 is taken for strike 3, Pluta gets him looking for the second out of the inning. Buffalo Wild Wings strikeout for Cody Pluta. And it brings up Casey Clemenson with 2 away. Clemenson 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Of course, those that follow Major League Baseball might recall a video that went viral about a half a month ago. That one at the Los Angeles Angels game. It was not a foul ball, but usually after a ball is caught, usually in between innings, players, especially in the outfield, will throw the ball into the stands for a fan. And a young fan caught, or actually he was an older fan, maybe around 25 years of age. Hold that thought as that one is drilled out towards the gap and dropping for a hit. Clemenson aboard with his second hit of the game, and he's thinking extra bases. Stahl is going to score from second as Clemenson digs for third, and he's in standing up with another triple. Second triple of the inning for West Fargo. RBI triple for Casey Clemenson, and it puts the score at 12-0.
Catcher number 12, Peyton Jans.
Peyton Jancy up next. But it was a young adult fan, about 25 years of age in my estimation, who caught the ball and then passed it along to a young child who could not have been more than maybe 6 or 7 years old in front of him as a little souvenir. And then a few innings later, a home run ball came to that very child, and he threw it to the fan that threw him the ball that was thrown by the player. 1-0 as Jancy takes for ball 2, and the way I described it certainly does not do it justice. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, to go look it up. It's a very heartwarming video. As the 2-0 is chopped on the ground over towards Thies at third, who charges in and fires over to first for out number 3. So that's going to do it here for the third inning through 3. West Fargo jumping out well in front as they lead 12-0. They leave one on base. Towards the top of the fourth, we'll see if Ashland can start to mount a rally of sorts as the Patriots with back-to-back 6-run innings, and we'll be back with more baseball in a moment after this.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
All right, so we're back, about to start the top of the fourth inning. Through three, it's 12-0. The Patriots of West Fargo leading Ashland. And due up, it's going to be Cade Bridges. Bridges, Thies, and Pluta, the three scheduled to hit.
Second baseman, 39, Cade Bridges.
Looks like that sun's starting to go down a little bit more, and thankfully reducing its harsh glare. It looks like, at least from my screen, just a little bit easier to see out on the field now. So we'll try and get you the best possible shot. Heupel will start off the fourth with a strike. Through 3 innings of pitching for Matt Heupel, 17 balls, 31 strikes for 48 pitches, now up to 49. This next one will be his 50th. Can do basic counting. Heupel's pitch taken for strike 2. Bridges 0 for 1 with a ground out. Heupel deals from the windup. Ooh, that one right back towards him. That one ripped by Bridges up the middle for a single. Scary moment right there. Good to see that it looks like everyone is okay. That brings up Dawson Thies. So chalk that up as the third hit of the game for Ashland. And hey, when mounting a rally, you gotta start somewhere. One hit at a time. One up and one on as Thies swings through that one for strike 1. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Hour 25 into this ball game. Now, as soon as I say the sun reducing its glare, I can see it pop back up a little bit. Might be a game of cat and mouse with the sun for the rest of the evening. We do have a game here at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so I'm hoping that Mother Nature will be a little more forgiving then, as that one is ripped the other way out towards right field, and it's going to be caught by Borkart out in right for out number 1. Bridges will hold up over at first. Cody Pluta up next. Pluta 0 for 1, flying out to center his first time up. And he'll settle into the box. First pitch, Pluta showing bunt, and he lays it down the line nicely. What a bunt. Wow. Everyone's safe as it puts runners on first and second, and that is textbook, ladies and gentlemen. Emmerich Hagwood up next, who's 1 for 1 with a single. Of course, the concept of bunting is hotly debated amongst followers and players and managers of the sport. But man, when you can lay one down like that, it is pretty hard to stop. Chalk it up as the 4th hit now for Ashland, doubling their hit total here in the inning as Hagwood swings through for strike 1. And I'll admit I perused over the tournament rules here before making the trip down to the Twin Cities. I either didn't read closely enough or I didn't see anything about a run rule. So that one is fouled off. I know in the Creighton Prep tournament, if that is to be used as precedent, it was an 8-run rule after 5. Of course, in normal play, at least out in North Dakota, it's a 10-run rule after 5. But I will be honest, I do not know the official rule or if there even is one, as Hagwood is looking at an 0-2 count. Heupel's pitch, that one going to be taken for a ball. Taking off for third is Bridges, who slides in head first. Count now 1-2 to Hagwood. Also have a score update here in a moment. As the 1-2 comes in, that one popped up very high and foul, and it was Pluta who was taking off for second. He'll have to track back. Foul ball keeps the at-bat where it is. Stars losing 3-2 to Thunder Bay in their first game and currently trailing Hopkins 3-0 in the top of the 6th. I'd like to give a thank you to Mike for that update. Mike over doing the post-400 games right now as Hagwood takes that pitch for ball 2. Also like to give a shout out to Chris for helping us out with the thumbnails. Been a very busy man recently, doing a lot of camera work and some technical stuff. As Hagwood takes for ball 3 to fill up the count. Payoff pitch from Heupel. And it's taken for ball 4. Bases loaded now for Aiden Washburn.
Up to bat now, left fielder, 42, Aiden Washburn.
And maybe, just maybe, something starting to cook for Ashland. Of course, the deficit looks to be a lot, but we have seen some pretty wild things happen in our time here at Magnitude. Bases loaded and 1 down. And we'll see what's in store. First pitch missing outside for ball 1. Washburn 0 for 1 with a ground out in this game. (1-0) from Heupel. That one popped up out towards center field. Dodds tracking it. And we'll see if Bridges takes and heads home. He does, as the throw will come in. And touching home is going to be Bridges for the first run of the game. Ashland getting on the board here to make it 12-1 off of the Aiden Washburn sacrifice fly.
Shortstop, number 6, Carter Washburn.
And it brings up Carter Washburn, the top of the order. Washburn 0 for 1, grounding out and then hit by a pitch his last time up. Seen a couple of hit batters in this game, 1 for each team. Bunt being shown, laid down but foul. Now that sun again starting to retreat behind those trees planted behind the outfield fence, offering some natural shade. The lights are on here as well, as it'll promise to get a little bit darker throughout the duration of this game. That one is chopped at for strike 2. 0-2 count. Heupel looking to end the top half of the 4th and send this game to halftime of sorts. Taking a long pause, now stepping off. Now the 0-2. And it's dropped in for strike 3. Heupel got him looking to end the inning. And that's going to do it here for the top half of the fourth and for the first half of the game. As 2 are left on, 1 coming across for Ashland as they break the shutout. Now 12-1 your score as we head towards the bottom of the fourth. The start of the second half of this game coming up right after this here on Magnitude Sports.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
Doolittle's Wood-Fire Grill is an experience that ignites your senses, featuring wood-fired rotisserie cooking. Grilling meat over an open flame creates that savory wood-roasted flavor, while the rotisserie rotation results in juicy and succulent meats. Doolittle's even has an outdoor fire pit that creates a relaxing setting to wine and dine for any occasion. Visit DoolittlesRestaurants.com for a full menu or to make a reservation. Doolittle's Wood-Fire Grill, 2112 25th Street South in Fargo, or call ahead at 701-478-2200.
All right, we're back. We have a new arm out on the mound for Ashland, as it's going to be Aiden Washburn taking the hill. Washburn coming in from left field, and I'll try and discern who exactly takes his spot out on the left. But we know Aiden Washburn taking the hill, and he'll face off against Cooper Borkhardt, who's scheduled to hit. Borkhardt, Hammond, and Nolan Dodds, the 9-1-2 batters for West Fargo. Ashland breaking the shutout in the top of the fourth as they bring home 1 on a sacrifice fly. Your score 12-1 here as we're halfway through. Borkhardt 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice and then on an error. One of the oddities of baseball stats, 0 for 2, but has actually reached base both times. We'll see what Washburn has in store out on the mound. Borkhardt with an RBI in this game as well, and scoring 2 runs. First pitch on the way as Borkhardt ducks away for ball 1. "12 hits for West Fargo through 3 innings of play. Borkhardt takes for ball 2. "2-0 inside for ball 3. Borkhardt 1 pitch away from leading off the inning with a walk. "3-0, and that one finding the zone for a strike. Washburn framing that one right on the postage stamp. "3-1, and it's taken for ball 4. Borkhardt walks. Leadoff walk, and it brings up the top of the order in Brennan Hammond. At least that's who's scheduled to hit. It looks like it's actually going to be Caleb Deere.
And a hit now, number 10, Caleb Deere.
So Deere will take his spot now at the top of the order with a runner over on first. And from the looks of it, it might be Mason Stolting who's in the on-deck circle as Deere takes the pitch for strike 1. Oh, 1. Deere skies it up into the evening skies. It's going to be caught by Hagwood over at first for the out. First out of the inning. So Deer flying out. It will indeed bring up Mason Stolting. First at bat of the night for Stolting. Borkart the runner over at first as Stolting takes for ball 1. That one up high for a ball.
Number 1, Mason Stolting.
And I hear a PA announcer announcing the at-bats. I'll be honest, I don't know where he could be, actually. So once I mentioned before, there's no press box here. So we have an open-air press box of sorts up in the football bleachers. I've seen just about everything. I gotta say, this is probably the most unique setup that I've ever had, but in all honesty, kind of cool. The fact that I'm able to set up and broadcast a game from such a spot like the corner of the football bleachers as Stolting takes for ball 3. I get to take in the fresh air, the sights and sounds of nature around me. Something about just being outside during the baseball game as the 3-1 is going to be taken for ball 4 and Stolting will walk. Runners now on first and second, and we'll see who's hitting here.
Number 6, Carter Oline.
As it's going to be Carter Oline hitting for Trey Stocker. So Stocker, who was 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a triple, will make way for Carter Oline. Oline has 2 on with 1 down. And the pitch is inside to Oline for ball 1. From Washburn. That one hit hard up the middle, going into the hole. Nice pick by Carter Washburn to fire over to first for out number 2. Great play by the shortstop. 6-3 ground out advances the runners as it brings up going to be Evan Berg. So some substitutes coming in here for West Fargo in the bottom of the 4th. Berg has 2 in scoring position with 2 down. I've just gotten word now that the PA is actually over in the third base dugout. So that mystery has been unmasked as the 1-0 is going to be taken for ball 2. Well, you certainly don't want to mess up the names of the team in the dugout that you're doing the PA from, as they're right there. 2-0, and I say that with a chuckle as someone who has done PA very seldom. I did it a few times last year over at Starion, and I'll admit there are a few names that got me. Even after checking with the managers, sometimes you just forget and you default to what you think it should be. As the 3-0 is going to be taken for ball 4 to Berg, and Berg will walk. That'll load the bases. Bases loaded now for Connor Enns.
Number 32, Connor Enns.
Cooper Borkart over at third, Mason Stolting over at second, Evan Berg over at first. Those are your faces on the bases for West Fargo. First pitch to Enns, and that one hit him. And they're going to bring home a run on the hit batter.
Now up to bat, number 9, Seth Wiggestrand.
Seth Wiggestrand up next, and the bases remain loaded for him. Wiggestrand 1 for 3, singling, reaching on an error, and then striking out his last time up. 13-1 your score. West Fargo bringing home 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Note the bases juiced, threatening for more as Wiggestrand takes for a ball. (1-0) fastball finding the zone for a strike. The count now even. (1-1). That one is hit the other way, dropping for a hit. That's going to score Stolting from third as Berg will hold up. It's an RBI single for Seth Wiggestrand, his second hit of the game. Makes it 14-1. Casey Clemenson up next. Clemenson with one of two triples for West Fargo. He's 2 for 3, singling, grounding out, and then the aforementioned triple in his last at-bat. First pitch to Clemenson, and he takes it for a ball. West Fargo flexing their muscles here over the past few innings and showing why they're the reigning state champions out in North Dakota. 1-0 on the way, and it's taken for ball 2. Washburn from the windup with the bases loaded. That pitch misses the zone, and now firing over is Bendler, checking on the runner Wiggestrand. Wiggestrand able to get back in quickly. Ashland trying to get that third out on the base paths. Now here's the 2-0. That one is taken. That was actually the 3-0, so apologies about that, as that walks home a run. Another run scoring here for West Fargo to make it 15-1. And scheduled to hit is Peyton Jancy. We'll see if that's who it is, as it looks like it's going to be someone else. It's going to be Easton Heisler, who is the other catcher. So Heisler settles in with the bases loaded and 2 down. First pitch, and Heisler takes for a ball. I'd have to assume it would be a straight swap. Jancy for Heisler out on the field. We'll see for sure here as we turn things over to the 5th. That pitch is going to be taken, and runners holding up as Heisler takes for ball 2. Two the count. Hour 45 into this one. Washburn's pitch finding the zone for a strike. We approach the 9th hour of the PM. 8:48 your time. 2-1, high and tight. That last pitch, number 30 for Washburn. Now here's the 3-1, as that one is going to be swung on and hit over the backstop foul. Full count at 3-2. Payoff pitch from Washburn. Inning hanging in the balance as that one is a hard shot up the middle. Scoring ends over from third. RBI single for Easton Heisler. That last one now hit number 13 for West Fargo, as it brings up Cooper Borkhardt, who's scheduled to hit. Now he walks back over towards the dugout, and we'll see who will hit in his spot. Borkhardt, who was 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice, an air, and then walking. And we'll see who he makes way for. So it looks like it's going to be Skylar Horde. So Horde will settle in with the bases loaded and 2 down. Horde representing the number 9 spot in the order as he takes the pitch for strike 1. And the West Fargo dugout really getting into this at-bat. Oh, 1. That one sent hard the other way, but foul. Count at 0-2. Washburn's pitch. That one taken for strike 3. Washburn got him looking to end the inning. So 3 are going to be stranded here as we turn it over towards the 5th. Your score 16-1 as 4 come across for West Fargo, and we'll be back with the 5th inning of play right after a few words from your sponsors on Magnitude Sports.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more.
All right, we're back. About to start the 5th inning of play. 3-4, your score 16-1. West Fargo up on top over Ashland out of Nebraska. West Fargo, of course, out of North Dakota. As Max Bendler, the catcher, will lead things off. Bendler 1 for 2, doubling and then striking out his last time up as he squares off against Matt Heupel. Heupel with 66 pitches through his first 4 innings of work, 22 balls and 44 strikes. And that pitch is going to carry through the hole for a hit. Bendler aboard with the second base knock of the game. Single on the ground will bring up Jake Butler. Butler is 0 for 1, walking and then reaching on a fielder's choice. That last hit, number 5 for Ashland. First pitch popped up very high, carrying out towards foul territory. As it's going to be caught over by Deere, I believe, who's at first, or is that still Clemenson? It is Clemenson who makes the catch for out number 1. That brings up Braxton Wentworth. Wentworth will see his first at-bat of the night. After Wentworth, Cade Bridges, the hitter, scheduled to settle into the box. You can see Bridges maybe just barely over in the on-deck circle. That one is chopped on the ground over towards ends at third, firing over to first for out number 2. Bendler advancing over to second.
Now up to bat number 39, Cade Bridges.
And it does bring up Cade Bridges. And I would have panned my camera over to the on-deck circle to confirm, but I'll be honest, the way the camera is set up right now, I'm scared that any movement whatsoever is going to compromise the integrity of the structure that I've built. Almost takes me back to the days of building a fort. And we certainly don't want anything happening to our camera. Dawson Teese is now in the on-deck circle, and you'll just have to take my word for it as Bridges takes the pitch for ball 1. (1-0) from Heupel. That one sent the other way out towards right field. Borkart on his horse as it drops foul. 1-1. Bridges taking a brief moment out of the box and now settling back in. 1-1 from Heupel. That pitch taken outside for ball 2. 2-1 now. The classic hitters count to Cade Bridges. Heupel's 2-1. That pitch catching the zone for strike 2. Count back to even now at 2. Heupel looking to end the top of the 5th. And potentially, depending on the rules of this tournament, the game. That one chopped over towards first. Charging in is Clemenson. Heupel covering the bag, and he puts his foot on it in time for out number 3. So we know for sure that'll do it for the top of the 5th. And now we see celebrations for West Fargo, so that should confirm it. As that's going to do it here in day 1 of the Gopher Classic out at the campus of the University of Northwestern. We have a final score, 16-1, the Patriots of West Fargo beating Ashland in game 1. That will do it for tonight for our coverage of West Fargo's. We'll be up bright and early tomorrow, 9 a.m. First pitch for the next West Fargo game, and yours truly will be back at it. Covering that one, we'll have 2 West Fargo games and 2 post 400 games. And the same will be said on Sunday as well. So for Eric Tiongson here with Magnitude Sports, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today from wherever you may be. And I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this broadcast as much as I enjoyed doing it. Until next time, hope to see you guys again all very soon, and have a great night.
Seating has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and visit our website at magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.